Someone tell me if you're on, please. All right. All right, we're going to start recording. All right, shalom, everyone, and welcome once again to Just a Word. Kazakh here, along with the family, as we are together once again for the Shabbat teaching. Today is a little earlier than before, because load shedding again. Yeah, looks good. Load shedding once again here, so the time has to be brought forward. Anyway, last week we looked into the sins of our fathers. Or was it the week before? The sins of our fathers. And today we are going to continue in a different light. We are going to kind of do a kind of history lesson, because sometimes when we speak about Yasharal and we speak about things that are happening and things that are to come, why does it sound like that? Most of us don't really get the understanding. Most of us don't get the understanding of what the Most High is saying or what the prophecies are saying, because we don't understand the journey that we have been through. So today we are going to look at the journey coming from the first kingdom was established, and we're going to follow that journey along. We might have to make this a two-part thing, because it so much. I'm trying to condense it to so much to get us insights into how our fathers lived and how they dealt with the Most High, especially from the standpoint of kings. Now, we begin with how we began last week, or was it the week before, when we spoke about the sins of our fathers. We begin at the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 1 to 4, and this is a premise on which we present today. Exodus 20, starting at verse 1 to 4.
Ezekiel 20, verse 1 to 4.
Yeah. What? Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the 7th year, in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Yasharal came to inquire of Yahuwah, and sat before me. Then came the word of Yahuwah unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto the elders of Yasharal, and say unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Eluah, Are ye come to inquire of me? As I live, says Yahuwah Eluah, I will not be inquired of by you. Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them? Cause them to know the abominations of their fathers.
All right. Cause them to know the abominations of their fathers. So we have to know the abominations of our fathers for the Most High to actually listen to us, for Him to actually allow us to inquire of Him. So let us begin. Let me see what's happening here. All right. Let us begin and lay down a foundation. A foundation that the house of Judah, which comprises the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, are the leaders of the 12 tribes. The Most High will not let a tribe lead the 12 tribes unless they are of the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. So, and that is when there is a king, that is. When there is a king above them. All right? So let's go to Psalms 78, verse 67 to 72. Now this teaching should open up our eyes a little bit. Psalm 68, what did I say? Verse? Psalm 78.
Psalm 78, verse 67.
67.
To 72.
All right, go ahead, please.
Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph, and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion which he loved.
All right, so Ephraim is a term that is used or was used to describe the 10 northern tribes. The tribes that were not of Benjamin, Levi, Benjamin, Judah, and half of Levi. So he did not choose Ephraim, he chose the tribe of Judah. Verse 69.
And he built his sanctuary like high palaces, like the earth which he had established forever. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. From following the ewes great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Yasharal his inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands.
All right, so David was the most successful ruler in the history of our people in a kingdom. And so the Most High always points us back. In essence, the coming kingdom will be the kingdom of David that will be resuscitated. All right, so he chose Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So on that premise, let's go and begin our history lesson. Judah, Yasharal asks for a king. Yasharal asks for a king. Now before this, the children of Yasharal were led by judges, by prophets, who the Most High sent to actually lead them. And the Most High would send judges to lead them, and then they would go into righteousness. As soon as the judge was dead, then they went back into unrighteousness. So let's see what happened here. 1 Samuel 8 verse 1 to 9. First time Yasharal were actually asking for a king. 1 Samuel 8 1 to 9. Remember, we have to know the sins of our fathers. 1 Samuel 8 1 to 9.
And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Yasharal. And the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba.
Mm-hmm.
And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Then all the elders of Yasharal gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Mm-hmm. Like all the nations. Yasharal wanted to be like the nations. Continue.
But the thing displeased Samuel, when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people, in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Mm-hmm.
According to all the works.
Mm-hmm.
According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me, and served other idols, or other gods, so do they also unto thee.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
So the Most High is saying that they have forsaken me. So they rejected Eli because Eli's son was evil. And the Most High is telling Eli that they did not reject you, they reject me. But he said, Samuel, sorry. Samuel. So he said, listen to them. But first, show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. Now, the Most High knew that this would happen. So, he set up a law beforehand to handle the contingency that Yasharal will want a king over them. And for that, let's go to it's the wrong place. Man, I did the wrong one. Mix up. All right, I'll find it. All right, I think it's in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 17, starting at verse 14.
Deuteronomy 17, verse 14. When thou art come unto the land which Yahuwah thy Elohim giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahuwah thy Elohim shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
All right, so the Most High knew. Says, when you come into the land and shall possess it, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. And it was the same thing that they did. They came to Samuel with. We want to have a king just like the other nations. And the Most High says, it shall be from your brethren. So a stranger must never ever rule the kingdom of Yasharal. But the Most High gave caution about this king in verse 16.
But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as Yahuwah hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way.
Continue.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
And this brings to memory Shulamah or Solomon. Solomon broke all of these things, which is why Solomon got into trouble. All of these. Verse 18.
And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book, out of the which is before the priests, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear Yahuwah his Elohim, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to do them.
So a successful king in Yasharal must be aligned with the Most High, must be walking according to his law. If he does that, then he will be successful. If not, he will be a failure. Verse 20.
That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment, to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Yasharal.
So the king has to be walking in the way of the Most High. Alright. So the Most High gave Yasharal what they wanted. They asked for a king, and he gave them a king. 1 Samuel 8:19 to 22.
Nevertheless.
Yes. So before this part, Shamuel went and told them what will likely happen when they have a king. That the king will take of them, and they will have to pay the king, and the king will take away their daughters to work for them, everything, all the negatives about the king. But the people did not want to hear. Verse 19. Nevertheless,
the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, Nay, but we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us, and go out before us and fight our battles. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Samuel, Hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Yasharal, Go ye every man unto his city.
So the Most High knows that the king is not good for them, but he will make a king. But he knew further along that David would eventually come and would be king over his kingdom, and that David would set up a righteous kingdom anyway. So After that, remember we're going through the story here to get an understanding. So after that, they asked for a king, and Shaul was chosen, or Saul as they call him, was chosen to be king. The first king. And remember we said earlier that Judah, Benjamin, and to a lesser extent Levi, because Levi are the leaders of the priesthood. So Benjamin and Judah will have to carry the kings. And the first king was from the tribe of Benjamin. First king of Israel was from Shimei's tribe, the tribe of Benjamin. Right, Shimei? Yes, your tribe. 1 Samuel 9, verse 15.
Now Yahuwah had told Samuel in his ear a day before Saul came, saying, Tomorrow about this time I will send thee a man out of the land of Benjamin, and thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Yasharal, that he may save my people out of the hand of the Philistines. For I have looked upon my people, because their cry is come unto me.
Who sees a similitude here with Yahusha HaMashiach? Look at it. Thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Yasharal, that he may save my people out of the hand of the Philistines. Yahusha HaMashiach is coming to save us out of the hand of Leviathan, out of the hand of the kings of Babylon. For I have looked upon my people, because their cry is come up unto me. Verse 17.
And when Samuel saw Saul, Yahuwah said unto him, Behold the man whom I spake to thee of. This same shall reign over my people.
Mm-hmm.
Then Saul drew...
No. So, Saul was chosen. The Most High showed Saul. And then Saul was anointed king. 1 Samuel 10, 1 to 16. 1 Samuel 10, 1 to 16. Go ahead.
Then Samuel took a vial of oil and poured it upon his head, and kissed him, and said, Is it not because Yahuwah hath anointed thee to be captain over his inheritance?
Mm-hmm.
When thou art departed from me today, then thou shalt find 2 men by Rachel's sepulchre in the border of Benjamin at Zelzah, and they which say unto thee,
They will
say unto thee, The asses which thou wentest to seek are found, and, lo, thy father has left the care of the asses, and sorroweth for you, saying, What shall I do for my son? Then shalt thou go on forward from thence, and thou shalt come to the plain of Tabor, and there shall meet thee 3 men going up to Allur to Bethel, one carrying 3 kids, and another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And they will salute thee, and give thee 2 loaves of bread, which thou shalt receive of their hands. After that thou shalt come to the hill of Allur, where is the garrison of the Philistines. And it shall come to pass, when thou art come thither to the city, that thou shalt meet a company of prophets coming down from the high place, with a psaltery, and a tabret, and a pipe, and a harp before them, and they shall prophesy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ruach of Yahuwah will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shall be turned into another man.
And shall be?
Turned into another man.
So when we have the Ruach, when the Ruach is upon us, we are turned into another man. This is John 3:3. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and you know not what from whence it cometh. So it is with everyone who is born of the Ruach. When you are born of the Ruach and led by the Ruach will lead us. It will be another man. It will not be us. It will not be the self that is leading. The Most High will take us and do whatever He wants to do with us. So, for a king that is ruling Yasharal, the Ruach of the Most High has to be on them for them to be successful. because the Most High has to be able to use them, or else they will go after their own ways. That is why Solomon fell away. When Solomon got old, he left off from following Yahuwah. He was so powerful in Yahuwah, all those books that he wrote, powerful books. And then when he got old, he went after idols. And the Ruach Yahuwah left him, and he went in the way of Hasatan. Verse 7.
And let it be, when these signs are come unto thee, that thou do as occasion serve thee, for Yahuwah is with thee.
So when these signs come upon thee, he says, do as you are led, for Yahuwah is with you. He will lead you and show you what to do. Verse 8.
And thou shalt go down before me to Gilgal, and behold, I will come down unto thee, to offer burnt offerings, and to sacrifice sacrifices of peace offerings. 7 days shalt thou tarry, till I come to thee, and show thee what thou shalt do.
And again he says, 7 days shalt thou tarry. When you're dealing with the Most High, you have to deal with patience. It is in our own intent at all times that things be done expeditiously. Things must be done right away. But sometimes the Most High will just tell us, no, stay. Hold on. Hold your horses. Wait on me. Wait 7 days. Hamashiach, when he was leaving, he says, but you shall receive power after that Ruach HaKadosh has come upon you. But tarry in Jerusalem for the promise. So they had to be waiting, and they were waiting and waiting. I think they waited 10 days for the promise. So sometimes the Most High will not show up himself right away. We will have to tarry and wait. Verse 9.
And it was so, that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, Yahuwah gave him another heart. And all those signs came to pass that day. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him, and the Ruach of Yahuwah came upon him, and he prophesied among them. And it came to pass, when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that is come unto the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets?
All right, let me see if I can cut this. All right. Verse 14.
And Saul's uncle said unto him and to his servant, whither went ye? And he said, to seek the asses. And when we saw that they were nowhere, we came to Samuel. And Saul's uncle said, tell me, I pray thee, what Samuel said unto you. And Saul said unto his uncle, he told us plainly that the asses were found, but of the matter of the kingdom whereof Samuel spake, he told him not.
All right, so this is very important. Of the matter of the kingdom whereof Samuel spake, he told him not. People, those of us out there, as believers, it is not every single thing that we are going to speak. When the Ruach is upon us, there will be things that we withhold and things that we speak. It is wisdom and the leading of the Ruach that will tell us what to speak. Some believers, every single thing we are asked, we speak. And we cause problems one with another. Saul held back here in order to cause no problems because he was not yet officially given the kingdom. So he held it back using wisdom. Something for us here that I found very interesting. Now verse 17 now. And Samuel. 1 Samuel 10 verse 17.
And Samuel called the people together unto Yahuwah at Mizpah, and said unto the children of Yasharal, thus says Yahuwah, Yahuwah of Yasharal, I brought up Yasharal out of Egypt, and delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all kingdoms, and of them that oppressed you. And ye have this day rejected your Yahuwah, who himself saved you out of all your adversities and your tribulations. And ye have said unto him, nay, but set a king over us. Now therefore present yourselves before Yahuwah by your tribes, and by your thousands.
Mm.
And when Samuel had caused all the tribes of Yasharal to come near, the tribe of Benjamin was taken.
Mm-hmm.
When he had caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near by their families, the family of Matri was taken, and Saul, the son of Kish, was taken. And when they sought him, he could not be found.
All right. When they sought him, he could not be found. Now, almost every person that the Most High chose in these scriptures, they either don't want to do what they were called to do, or they were actually fearful. They were actually fearful, or they were people who you least expect to be called. Always very important. Shaul went it a step further and said, you see how not many wise men are called. But the Most High has used the foolish things of the earth to confound the wise. So we have Shaul hiding. Verse 24.
And Samuel said to all the people, see ye him whom Yahuwah has chosen, that there is none like him among all the people. And all the people shouted and said, Allure, save the king.
Mm-hmm.
Then Samuel told the people the manner of the kingdom, and wrote it in a book, and laid it up before the Yahuwah. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house.
Okay. All right. So, no, there is something very important in that chapter that I want. Continue. 26.
And Saul also went home to Gibeah, and there went with him a band of men whose hearts Allure had touched.
Mm-hmm.
But the children of Belial said, how shall this man save us? And they despised him, and brought him no presents, but he held his peace.
You see, it's very interesting. So the Most High sent a band of men to be with Shaul. Yahuwah touched their hearts and says, these men must be with him. But the children of Belial, these are Satan's children, Satan's people. They despised Shaul and says, can this man save us? And brought him no presents. We're going to see a principle here. Not because the Most High has chosen someone, that doesn't mean he will be accepted. As a matter of fact, he will be rejected. But we're going to see what forced all of the people now to accept Shaul. It is the power of the Most High that is going to eventually force everyone to accept Shaul. So let's go to 1 Samuel 11 verses 1 to 15. It's a history lesson today. 1 Samuel 11, starting at verse 1.
Then Nahash the Ammonite came up and encamped against Jabesh Gilead. And all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahash, make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, on this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes, and lay it for a reproach upon all Yasharal.
Oh boy. Continue.
And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, give us 7 days' respite, that we may send messages unto all the coasts of Yasharal, and then, if there be no man to save us, we will come out to thee.
Whoa, so these men were willing for them to put out their eyes. Man, what a cowardly bunch. Verse 4.
Then came the messengers to Gibeah of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears of the people. And all the people lifted up their voices and wept.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field, and Saul said, what aileth the people that they weep? And they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh. And the Ruach of Allure came upon Saul when he heard those tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly.
Wait, stop there. Stop there. Can you read it again?
And the Ruach of Allure came upon Saul when he heard those tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly.
Now, today, among believers, people get angry righteously. They say it is not of Yahuwah. The people needed to be saved. And the Most High kindled Shaul's anger to start the ball rolling to save the people. It will not always be the Most High will not always work exactly the same way at all times. You never know how the Most High will manifest himself. You'll never know how he will use us. Never, never, never know. And let's see what Shaul did. Let's see what this anger caused him to do. Let's see what the spirit of Allah caused Shaul to do. Verse 7.
And he took a yoke of oxen and hewed them in pieces and sent them throughout all the coasts of Yasharal by the hands of messengers, saying, Whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of Yahuwah fell on the people, and they came out with one consent.
You see? If he did not do this, then the fear of Yahuwah would not have fallen on them, and they would not have come out to rescue the people of Jabesh Gilead. The Most High works in so many different ways. We cannot stereotype him at all. Verse 8.
And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Yasharal were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000.
Oh, what a big disparity. Anyway, so that is, it makes sense though, it's a tenth. So Judah would be more than a tenth, it would be more than one tribe, the average of one tribe. Anyway, go ahead, verse 9.
And they said unto the messengers that came, Thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, Tomorrow by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and showed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, Tomorrow we will come out unto you, and ye shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you. And it was so on the morrow that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together.
And let's see what happened. The heading is the kingdom is renewed. So all of a sudden now, by this one thing, the Most High destroyed the naysayers, as we're going to see. All right? By stirring up the ruach of Shaul unto anger, this is what came out of it. Verse 12.
And the people said unto Samuel, Who is he that said, Shall Saul reign over us? Bring the men that we may put them to death. And Saul said, There shall not a man be put to death this day, for today Yahuwah has wrought salvation in Yasharal. So,
this is the similitude. This is a similitude of our salvation. Shaul anointed king. Problems. The children of Belial saying that, detesting him and saying he shall not reign over us. Situations come up, and then the kingdom is renewed. It is the same thing with the old covenant. The children of Yasharal made a covenant in Horeb, went through all that they were going through for 40 years. Then when they went into Moab, the covenant was renewed. For us again, we are in this new covenant. When we repent and we are immersed in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, we come into the covenant. We go through, we have to endure unto the end to be saved. We go through all that we have to go through. And in the end, he says he will bring us into the bond of the covenant. This is a principle, people of the Most High, that we have to get and we have to understand. Because there will be people out there who's going to tell you, oh, you're not in the new covenant. Yes, we are in the new covenant, but we have not yet been brought into the bond of the covenant. The new covenant has to be renewed when it is time for a Mashiach. When a Mashiach returns, it will be renewed. And then those who have endured will enter the kingdom, and those who have not will be in trouble. Continue.
Then said Samuel to the people, Come, and let us go to Gilgal, and renew the kingdom there.
All right? Renew the kingdom there. So the first place that he was, and why the Most High is so great. The first place that the old covenant was in Moab was in Horeb. Then it was renewed in Moab. Here, he was anointed in Mizpah, and the covenant is renewed in Gilgal. Same principle. Two different places, not renewed in the same place. Continue.
And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before Yahuwah in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offerings before Yahuwah. And there Saul and all the men of Yasharal rejoiced greatly.
All right. They rejoiced greatly. But the Most High does not play. Did we do this in a Shabbat teaching when Shaul was rejected, or was it a morning teaching? Was morning? I'll say it so we can do it. All right. So the fact that the Most High appoints people does not mean that you can do whatever you want to do. Because Shaul here gave the Most High a little problems. And we're going to see how the Most High deals with it. 1 Samuel 15, 1-3, and then 7-35. George, you're going to do a whole lot of reading today. 1 Samuel 15, 1-3.
Samuel also said unto Saul, Yahuwah sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Yasharal. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of Yahuwah. Thus says Yahuwah of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Yasharal, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
So who is giving these instructions here? The Most High. The Most High doesn't play. Utterly destroy all that they have. Man, woman, infant, suckling, ox, sheep, camel, and ass. Destroy everything. Those were the instructions that Shaul or Saul was given. Verse 4.
And Saul gathered the people together, and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen, and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek, and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Yasharal when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
And very significant here, before the Most High destroys, he warns you to come out from them. And what does that remind us of? Revelation 18. Revelation 18, verse 4. Read it, please. No, read from verse 3. No, from verse 2.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul ruachoth, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
Come out of her, my people,
that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
There we go. So Babylon is falling. Babylon is coming up for destruction. The Most High says, come out of her, my people. If you do not come out, you will be partakers of her sins, and as a result, you will receive of her plagues. So let's go back to Saul, who went and told the Kenites to get out from the Amalekites. I'm going to destroy them. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. Likewise, when Korah had his rebellion, the Most High says, get away from the tent of Korah and Adiram, and what's the other one's name? And the Most High destroyed them. If any one of other Israelite was near the tents, they would have been also destroyed. Understand that principle. So that is why staying in Babylon, in the midst of Babylon, it is actually a suicide that we are doing. Verse 7.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
He was told to kill everyone. Why did he take Agag or Agag alive when he was told to kill everyone? Let's go up to the go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man. So Agag was a man, so he broke that. He took Agag and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. Verse 9.
But Saul
and the people
spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, that they destroyed utterly. So
the Most High gave him an instruction. And let me tell you something now. This reminds me of religion today. Modern religion, organized religion. For example, the awakening. The Most High called us and charged us to awaken our people. We come and we set up religion out of it, so that we can get things for ourselves and find a way for ourselves out of it. Even worse, many people have heeded the call to flee out of the midst of Babylon. And people still finding a way for themselves, setting up businesses where they are setting up businesses and selling houses, renting houses, and doing all sorts of Babylonian stuff for people. When the Most High give us a job to do, we have to be self-sacrificial when we are doing the job. Otherwise, we are going to go according to our hearts, and when we go according to our hearts, it is against the way of the Most High. So everything that was vile and refuse they destroyed not, but that which was good and pleasant they kept. Verse 10.
Then came the word of Yahuwah unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and has not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahuwah all night.
So the Most High says, I am sorry that I have set up Saul to be king. Let's not go there. Don't want to detract. The Most High is sorry that he made him king. Didn't the Most High know that Shaul would give problems?
Maybe he didn't know.
Maybe he chose not to know. Or maybe he knew and it was all in keeping with bringing in David in the flock. That's another angle to look at it, isn't it? Yeah. But why would he repent? Why would he be sorry? Anyway, verse 12.
He gave the people what they wanted, which was their best, but it wasn't his best.
Yes. Verse 12. But the people's choice had to come so that his best could come.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and, behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of Yahuwah. I have performed the commandment of Yahuwah.
Oh man. No, Saul, man. No, man. No. You know what you did, and you're saying that you performed the commandment of Yahuwah. Now, the similitude of this is us now today. How many of us claim to be keeping the law? How many of us claim to be keeping the law and we are breakers of the law? Because we keep one and some laws we don't even understand. Yeah? We can't claim if somebody comes to me and says, do you keep the commandments of the Most High? I would say, I am trying. But I'm going to tell you that I keep it. Because the more you study the Torah, the more you see some little insights and little things that you don't. How many times have we done it? Went into it and they said, whoa, we didn't know that that was wrong. So if I claim to be keeping the commandments of the Most High, and I'm not, then I make myself a liar. Yeah? So we seek out the Torah to see what is right and what is wrong. Verse 14.
And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear?
So I keep the commandments, but what about those sheep? Where are they from? Verse 15.
And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites.
Who? They. He is the king, and he's saying they have brought them from the Amalekites. Continue.
For the people bared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto Yahuwah thy Eluah, and the rest we have utterly destroyed.
The people spared the best of the sheep. You see, when people are leading, the Most High calls these leaders to account. Same thing in the United States of America and certain countries. If you are the prime minister or the president of a country and certain things happen under your watch in a department, government department, you have nothing to do with it. You did not contribute to it. It's just an employee who did it. What the first thing the people do? They call for what? Resignation of the minister who is in charge. The minister should resign. No, that minister just came in and he is ruling from his office somewhere. He doesn't know that there is a thief in his office there. Now, when all of that money is gone, he is called to account for that money. It's the same thing. Shaul cannot say the people spare the best. Responsibility is for Shaul. So the leader has to take account for anything that happens under his watch. Verse 16.
Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what Yahuwah hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Yasharal? And Yahuwah anointed thee king over Yasharal? And Yahuwah sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of Yahuwah, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of Yahuwah?
All right. So the similitude of this is when Yahusha is coming, he's coming to destroy, isn't it? The sinners is who Yahusha is coming to destroy.
Yes.
So Yahushua Mashiach cannot break this law. So he has to utterly destroy who? The sinners. Continue. Verse 20.
And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yahuwah, and have gone the way which Yahuwah sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
But the people
took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahuwah thy Eluah in Gilgal.
So we are always finding someone else to blame except ourselves.
Excuses.
Always have excuses. Always finding someone else. It's never me. It's always someone else. And that is what Saul was doing. But let's see what the Most High said.
Verse 22.
Yeah.
And Samuel said, Has Yahuwah as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahuwah? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
To obey is better than sacrifice. So for those of us who believe it's absolutely imperative for our salvation to sacrifice, it is obedience that is actually the most important thing for us. Better than sacrifices.
So when he says, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and we're challenged with that, we will just turn around and say, no, I thought it was better to do this, to stay here.
I thought it was better to stay here, but the Most High is going to say, but I told you to flee.
Yes.
You see, same thing. Because that is what the people in the world, most of these people, oh, I'll stay, the Most High will protect me. The Most High didn't tell you that, he told you to flee.
But I'm saving up to make provision for a journey.
He said flee. That's not obedience.
But we didn't have the funding or the finance. We're making the funding now.
Huh? Yeah, bills to, all right. Obey.
Leave everything. Drop everything.
Obey. Obey. Verse 23.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft,
And
and stubbornness as
is
iniquity
and idolatry. So 2 words here. Rebellion. What did I do with this thing? Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. The word rebellion there. Let me see what it means. Rebellion is bitterness. That is figuratively rebellion, bitter, concretely bitter or rebellious. Bitterness, rebellion. And we know to be rebellious is to be disobedient. And stubbornness. Nothing good. Is as iniquity and idolatry. Stubbornness, Stubborn. How you spell that? Ness?
Yeah. Double N.
Yes. Stubbornness is unreasonably or perversely unyielding. Unreasonably unyielding. So these are those of us who just totally refuse to receive instruction. This is stubbornness. Now, stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And this brings us to Matthew 7:21-23, that tells us about what happens to those who are workers of iniquity. Stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Let's go to Matthew 7:21-23. Let's see what happens when Messiah returns and the workers of iniquity. These are stubborn. Those of us who are stubborn remain stubborn. Verse 21.
Not everyone that says unto me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So
stubbornness is as iniquity. So stubborn people will be in this bracket right here. Rebellious. Ezekiel 20 verse 38. No. Yes, verse 38, Ezekiel 20. This is rebellious, those who are rebellious.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharal, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
So, this is for us in these end times, in these last days. Cannot allow ourselves to be rebellious or to continue to transgress against the Most High, because he says he will bring us out of the country where we sojourn, but he will not let us enter into the land. So let's go back to Saul. Let's go back to Saul. Verse 23. And read it again, please.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahuwah, he has also rejected thee from being king.
So rejecting the word of Yahuwah, he will also reject us. Verse 24.
And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of Yahuwah and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
Because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Dangerous to obey the voice of the people because you fear them. We have to obey the voice of Yahuwah at all times, or we might be in trouble. Serious trouble. Have to obey the voice of Yahuwah and not fear the voice of the people. So Shaul was repentant here, and he says, I have sinned. And he asked for pardon. Verse 25.
Now therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship Yahuwah.
All right. So, what is Shaul's real sin here? Why he was not forgiven? Let's see if anyone is thinking. George, what is the real sin? Why he was not forgiven?
Disobedience.
Yeah. Okay. Remember we read earlier that the spirit of Allah came upon him and he prophesied. It is blasphemy against the Ruach. That's why Samuel keeps saying, you have rejected the word of Yahuwah. The word is that Ruach. So he rejected the word of Yahuwah. He blasphemed the Ruach. That is why he did not get any, there's no repentance for him. Very easy to blaspheme the Ruach. Sometimes I look back and wonder, I say, what if I ever blaspheme the Ruach? It's very easy to do. Because the Most High holds us accountable with the things that we say. We have to be very, very careful about this. Very careful. For thou hast rejected the word of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah hath rejected thee from being king over Yasharal. Verse 27.
And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle and rent it. And Samuel said unto him, Yahuwah hath rent the kingdom of Yasharal from thee this day, and has given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than thou.
Can you imagine somebody telling us that? Verse 29.
And also the strength of Yasharal will not lie nor repent. For
he is not a man.
He is not a man that he should repent.
He is what?
Not a man.
Oh, I thought he was. Repent. I thought he was Jesus.
You made a mistake.
He's not a man.
He's the Most High.
The Most High is not a man that he should repent. And he will not lie. And when he pronounced this on Shaul, it could not go back. Can you imagine? Boy, I have to fear Yahuwah. I'm telling you, I have to fear Yahuwah. Hey. Verse 30.
Then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people and before Yasharal, and turn again with me, that I may worship Yahuwah thy Eluah.
So, Shaul there, rejected by the Most High, still went and worshipped the Most High. To show us that many of us can have blasphemed the Ruach, can be rejected by the Most High, and the Most High still allows us to worship Him. It's a fearful thing, this salvation issue here. It's not an easy road. Imagine me now being here, and the Most High has rejected me and I don't know. Hey. Anyway. Continue. Verse 32.
Then said Samuel, Bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, Surely the bitterness of death is past.
So Agag is seeing a prophet. He's seen that he was not killed, he was spared. So he thinks that he was spared for a reason. And he's now seeing a prophet coming to him. But let's see what the Ruach Yahuwah will let Samuel do. The Spirit of the Most High, Yahuwah Sabaoth. Verse 33.
And Samuel said, As thy sword hath made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before Yahuwah in Gilgal.
Before Yahuwah. And Yahuwah was well pleased because Samuel did what Saul was supposed to do. Remember, Samuel was a righteous man. He was a prophet of the people. And he hewed him in pieces before Yahuwah.
Saul did this with the yoke of oxen, didn't he? As a message earlier on.
He did it with the ox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hewed it in pieces and sent it to
Yes.
as a sign, saying this is what's going to happen to you if you don't obey.
Then what happened to that? That's Saul. Lust of the flesh.
Yeah.
Verse 34.
Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to his house to Gibeah of Saul. And Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death. Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul, and Yahuwah repented that he had made Saul king over Yasharal.
So Samuel did not go to see Saul again. That is the Ruach that has rejected Saul. Yeah? Totally rejected Saul because of what he did. He disobeyed. He disobeyed. Oh boy, it's not an easy road. So, because of what Saul did, in comes the great King David. So David anointed king instead of Shaul. 1 Samuel 16, verse 10 to 13. So before this now, we have to give a summary because we're cutting it short because there's so much. Now, the Most High sent Samuel to Jesse to go and anoint one of his sons to be king. Now, Jesse had several children, and he ran through all the children, and Samuel still couldn't find the one. And Samuel had to ask him, well, is there anyone else? And David was just an afterthought in the eyes of Jesse. And that was the one that was anointed. Let's go 1 Samuel 16, verse 10.
Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Yahuwah has not chosen these.
All right, how many of his sons?
7.
So David was the 8th. Number 8. What's the meaning of number 8?
Completion.
New beginning. So Israel was to have a new beginning in David. Verse 11.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, Are here all thy children? And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And Yahuwah said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Hey, Yahuwah, you're a good-looking person. It's strange, isn't it? Yeah. Continue.
Then Samuel took the horn of oil, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Ruach of Yahuwah came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah.
All right. The Ruach Yahuwah came upon David. So in the meantime, what is I doing there? Oh, this is the wrong one. Wrong scripture. So what happened afterwards that Shaul was plagued by an evil spirit, an evil ruach. Let me see if I get it. We were at chapter 16. 1 Samuel 16:14.
But the Ruach of Yahuwah departed from Saul, and an evil Ruach from Yahuwah troubled him.
Hold on there. So the Ruach HaKadosh, Holy Spirit as they call it, departed from Shaul, and an evil Ruach. Where did the evil Ruach come from?
From the Most High.
From the Most High. Troubled him. So first, Shaul was there normal. Then he got the Ruach of Yahuwah.
Empowerment.
Turned into a new man. Went and blasphemed the Ruach. The Ruach took itself away from him and replaced it with an evil Ruach. Can you imagine? Verse 15.
And Saul's servants said unto him, Behold now, an evil Ruach from Alua troubleth thee.
An evil Ruach from Alua. They didn't say an evil Ruach from the devil. An evil Ruach from Yahuwah. This is the danger. This is why you'll see people who have had the Ruach and who have done certain things. They will go about and they can't believe that it is the same person. So, David was anointed king, but he was not anointed over his subjects. So, in 2 Samuel 2:1-7, David was first anointed king of the house of Judah. He was anointed king of the house of Judah first. 2 Samuel 2:1-7.
And it came to pass.
Hold on, you're going faster than me. 2 Samuel 2:1-7. Go ahead.
And it came to pass after this, that David inquired of Yahuwah, saying, Shall I go up into any of the cities of Judah? And Yahuwah said unto him, Go up. And David said, Whither shall I go up? And he said unto him, Unto Hebron.
All right, so this is the thing with David. Every time David was to make a move, he went and consulted with the Most High. Yes? That is why he was so successful. And when he didn't consult with the Most High and went after his own heart, he got in trouble. So whenever we are doing anything, people, we have to be like David. Go to the Most High and stop doing after the desires of our own hearts. All right? Verse 2.
So David went up thither, and his two wives also, Ahinoam, the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, Nabal's wife, the
Carmelite. All right, so those who are in polygyny will enjoy this. Oh, it's a man of Alua having two wives. Why can't I have two wives? Two wives. That's another story. Verse 3.
And his men that were with him did David bring up, every man with his household, and they dwelt in the cities of Hebron.
Mm-hmm.
And the men of Judah came, and there they anointed King David over the house of Judah. And they told David, saying, that the men of Jabesh Gilead were they that buried Saul.
All right. So, anointed David king over the house of Judah. Over the house of Judah, not the entire 12 tribes. So the men of Jabesh Gilead, they buried Saul because they remember when the men were about to pluck out their eyes, Saul was the one who rescued them. Verse 5.
And David sent messengers unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, and said unto them, Blessed be ye of Yahuwah, that ye have showed this kindness unto your master, even unto Saul, and have buried him. And now Yahuwah show kindness and truth unto you, and I also will requite you this kindness, because ye have done this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore now let your hands be strengthened, and be ye valiant, For your master Saul is dead, and also the house of Judah have anointed me king over them.
All right. So David was here rewarding them for being good to Saul. Saul hunted David and wanted to kill him, tried so many times to kill him. And yet David knew that Saul was the anointed of Yahuwah. And even though Yahuwah had taken his ruach away from him, David still honored him, calling him the anointed of Yahuwah. And he actually rewarded those who did well to Saul. He wept bitterly. He wept bitterly when Saul and his son Jonathan died. All right, so let's continue with the history lesson. So Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, was made king over the 11 tribes. So even though the Most High anointed David, David did not immediately get possession of the entire kingdom. He had to actually wait and actually go through. So, you see, when the Most High is doing a thing with us, that is why we, for example, who are gathered here, we go through all different types of struggles, all different types of things we go through. Look what David went through. He went through so many things, and his kingdom that he established was the greatest kingdom that Israel had seen. So, 2 Samuel 2 verse 8.
But Abner, the son of Ner, captain of Saul's host, took Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, and brought him over to Mahanaim, and made him king over Gilead, and over the Asherites, and over Jezreel, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all Yasharal.
Over all Yasharal except the tribe of Judah. The house of Judah, it says. But the house of Judah would be probably the tribe of Judah and probably the Levites. Yeah, because Benjamin was with Ishbosheth because Saul and Ishbosheth, they were Benjamites. So obviously Benjamin was over the other side initially. So we have this man here, Abner, a very powerful man, real bad man. He took Ishbosheth and declared him to be king. Verse 2 Samuel 2 verse 10.
Ishbosheth, Saul's son, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Yasharal, and reigned 2 years, but the house of Judah followed David.
So we have a split there. Israel, 11 tribes are thereabouts following Ishbosheth, and the house of Judah only following David. Verse 11.
And the time that David was king in Hebron over the house of Judah was 7 years and 6 months.
All right. Now, unbelievable, but believable. The 12 tribes were united under David through a dispute over a concubine. The 12 tribes came together in a dispute over a concubine. Let's see how it goes. 2 Samuel 3 verse 6. So we have to know this history. When we get this history in our heads, when we see all the prophecies coming up, we will get a more understanding of the prophecies, okay? Verse 6, 2 Samuel 3.
And it came to pass, while there was war between the house of Saul and the house of David, that Abner made himself strong for the house of Saul.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Ai. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, Wherefore hast thou gone in unto my father's concubine? Then was Abner very wroth for the words of Ishbosheth, and said, Am I a dog's head, which against Judah do show kindness this day unto the house of Saul thy father, to his brethren and to his friends, and have not delivered thee into the hand of David, that thou chargest me today with a fault concerning this woman?
So Abner was very, very powerful. He had the power to deliver the kingdom into whose hands, whomever hand it was. Obviously, probably he was over the men, over the army. So he could deliver it into whatever hand he could. And then Ishbosheth is arguing over the concubine of his father, who is actually dead. So let's see what transpired. 2 Samuel, when I say who is actually dead, I mean Saul, his father, is dead, and he's arguing over the concubine. Verse 9.
So do allure to Abner, and more also, except as Yahuwah has sworn to David, even so I do to him, to translate the kingdom from the house of Saul, and to set up the throne of David over Yasharal and over Judah, from Dan even to Beersheba. And he could not answer Abner a word again, because he feared him.
Abner was a real bad man. Imagine being able to declare. It's a real bad man. Imagine able to declare this in front of a king, and the king cannot say anything because he's afraid of you. So Abner can take the kingdom and give to whomever he wished. This is a bad man. This is a real bad man. Yeah. So he declared it, he swore, and he did it. Abner brings Ishbosheth's kingdom to David. 2 Samuel 3, verse 12 to... Go ahead.
And Abner sent messengers to David on his behalf, saying, Whose is the land? Saying also, Make thy league with me, and, behold, my hand shall be with thee, to bring about all Yasharal unto thee. And he said, Well, I will make a league with thee, but one thing I require of thee, that is, thou shalt not see my face, except thou first bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when thou comest to see my face.
Again, a woman again? Eh? That's how important women are and how powerful. The kingdom is there. Think about it. And David was putting the kingdom on the line for Michal, Shaul's daughter, who was actually given to him. But I think she was given to someone else instead of him. Verse 14.
And David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, Deliver me my wife Michal, which I espoused to me for 100 foreskins of the Philistines. And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, even from Phaltiel, the son of Laish. And her husband went with her along, weeping behind her to Bahruan. Then said Abner unto him, Go, return. And he returned.
You see the real bad man talk?
Get out of here.
The real bad man said, No. Go on. Turn back. Yeah.
Later, dude.
17.
And Abner had communication with the elders of Yasharal, saying, Ye sought for David in times past to be king over you. Now then, do it. For Yahuwah has spoken of David, saying, By the hand of my servant David, I will save my people Yasharal out of the hand of the Philistines, and out of the hand of all their enemies.
So you see the consideration of being a king. You have to be able to defeat the enemies. Because Yasharal has always had enemies. So anyone who is coming to save Yasharal has to be a bad man. That is why Hamashiach is going to come as a bad man. He's not going to come as a nice person.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah. Continue.
And Abner also spake in the ears of Benjamin, and Abner went also to speak in the ears of David in Hebron, all that seemed good to Yasharal, and that seemed good to the whole house of Benjamin. So Abner came to David to Hebron, and 20 men with him. And David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast. And Abner said unto David, I will arise and go, and will gather all Yasharal unto my master the king, that they may make a league with thee, and that thou mayest reign over all that thine heart desireth. And David sent Abner away, and he went in peace.
Now here's the part that I don't like. This Joab now, seeing him sent away Abner, Joab went, and let's see, verse 22.
And behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing a troop, and brought in a great spoil with them. But Abner was not with David in Hebron, for he had sent him away, and he was gone in peace. When Joab and all the host that was with him were come, they told Joab, saying, Abner the son of Ner came to the king, and he has sent him away, and he is gone in peace. Then Joab came to the king and said, What hast thou done? Behold, Abner came unto thee. Why is it that thou hast sent him away, and he is quite gone? Thou knowest Abner the son of Ner, that he came to deceive thee, and to know thy going out and thy coming in, and to know all that thou doest. And when Joab was come out from David, he sent messengers after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sirah, but David knew it not. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him there under the 5th rib, that he died for the blood of Ashel his brother.
Continue. So sad.
And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before Yahuwah forever from the blood of Abner the son of Ner.
And then David went along and mourned Abner. Verse 31.
And David said to Joab and to all the people that were with him, Rend your clothes and gird you with sackcloth, and mourn before Abner. And King David himself followed the bier. And they buried Abner in Hebron. And the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner, and all the people wept.
All right. So we can stop there. All right. So that was Abner. So David now anointed king over all Yasharal. 2 Samuel 5, 1-10. David anointed king over all Yasharal.
Then came all the tribes of Yasharal to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou wast he that leddest out and broughtest in Yasharal. And Yahuwah said to thee, Thou shalt feed my people Yasharal, and thou shalt be a captain over Yasharal. So all the elders of Yasharal came to the king to Hebron, and King David made a league with them in Hebron before Yahuwah, and they anointed David king over Yasharal. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years.
70. 30, 40, and 70. Go ahead.
In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years over all Yasharal and Judah.
Yahusha lived to 33 years.
33, yeah.
Go ahead.
And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking, David cannot come in hither. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion. The same is the city of David.
All right. So this is where Mount Zion came from. David took it from them, and the Most High has honored Zion from that time. So when you see Zion, David took it from them, but David took it for the Most High. Yeah? The Most High calls it his holy mountain.
Yeah, special. Set
apart mountain, Zion. Verse 8.
And David said on that day, Whosoever getteth up to the gutter, and smiteth the Jebusites, and the lame and the blind that are hated of David's soul. He shall be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, the blind and the lame shall not come into the house. So David dwelt in the fort, and called it the city of David. And David built round about from Millo and inward.
All right, Jerusalem, here we come. Verse 10.
And David went on, and grew great, and Yahuwah of hosts was with him. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, and carpenters, and masons, and they built David an house.
All right, so that there we continue with the history. So, when in David's reign, the Most High gave David a prophecy of the reign of Yahusha HaMashiach to David. First Chronicles 17, 7-15. Prophecy of Yahusha HaMashiach. We could not be teaching, could be speaking today and not speak about Yahusha HaMashiach, the great Yahusha HaMashiach.
17 verse 7-15.
It's 17, I said?
Yeah.
Verse 7. First Chronicles 17 verse 7. Go ahead, please.
Now therefore thus shalt thou say unto my servant David, Thus says Yahuwah of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, even from following the sheep, that thou shouldest be ruler over my people Yasharal. And I have been with thee whithersoever thou hast walked, and have cut off all thine enemies from before thee, and have made thee a name like the name of the great men that are in the earth. Also, I will ordain a place for my people Yasharal, and will plant them, and they shall dwell in their place, and shall be moved no more.
And shall be moved
no more.
So this place that he's speaking about is a permanent place that they will never ever be sent into captivity. This is speaking about coming soon to this earth. Continue.
Neither shall the children of wickedness waste them any more, as at the beginning.
All right, so this is, I shall purge their sins and remember them no more. Verse 10.
And since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Yasharal, moreover I will subdue all thine enemies. Furthermore, I tell thee that Yahuwah will build thee an house. And it shall come to pass, when thy days be expired, that thou must go to be with thy fathers, that I will raise up thy seed after thee, which shall be of thy sons, and I will establish his kingdom.
All right, so and people believe that he's speaking about Solomon. He says, I will raise up thy seed after thee, which shall be of thy sons. So it cannot be his immediate descendant, because that is only one son. If it was of Solomon, he would say it will be of your son, singular. But he says sons, which means descendants going down. Verse 12.
He shall build me an house.
No. He shall build me an house. Go ahead.
He shall build me an house, and I will establish his throne forever.
All right. Continue.
I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And I will not take mercy away from him, as I took it from him that was before thee. But I will settle him in mine house and in my kingdom forever. And his throne shall be established forevermore.
So no king of Judah's throne has been established forevermore. Only Yahusha HaMashiach's throne has been established forevermore. Verse 15.
According to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David.
All right, and just for our insight, this is the raising up of the tabernacle of David that is fallen, that is prophesied in Amos 9:11-12. Amos 9:11-12. Amos 9:11-12.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and will build it as in the days of old.
So the old kingdom is gonna come back. The whole 12 tribes coming back together. Verse 12.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen which are called by my name, says Yahuwah that doeth this.
Under David's reign, they possessed Edom, and in the renewed kingdom that is coming, they will once again possess the remnant of Edom, just as in the days of old. So, let's get back on track now in history. Let's go back to Shulimah, Solomon. Solomon, his son, turns from Yahuwah. Therefore, the kingdom will once again be split. Remember, it was split before David, united under David. Now, his son Solomon came and transgressed. And let's see what the Most High is going to do. 1 Kings 11, 1-13. The Most High does not play. 1 Kings 11, 1-13. He does not play at all. 1-13.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
Oh boy. He loved many strange women. Women caused Israel to be together. David said he has to get back his wife, or else Abner cannot speak with him. Now we have his son Solomon loving many strange women, and this is the downfall of Solomon. Continue, verse 1.
But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
Verse 2.
Of the nations concerning which Yahuwah said unto the children of Yasharal, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their idols. Solomon clave unto these in love. Yikes.
So these nations will turn our hearts away from them, from serving the Most High. Nothing has changed. Verse 3.
This is for the polygamists.
Yeah.
And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines.
If you have 700 wives, why you need 300 concubines?
And princesses. Yeesh.
Oh, he had princesses. And his wives turned away his heart.
Wow. Not surprised.
Verse 4.
For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods or idols, and his heart was not perfect with Yahuwah his Elohah, as was the heart of David his father.
For Solomon went after
Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and went not fully after Yahuwah, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
Man, continue.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives which burn incense and sacrificed unto their idols.
What would make this great man just change like this?
He had all the wisdom from the Most High.
That shows you how powerful women are. Real powerful hold they have over us. Huh? Verse 9.
And Yahuwah was angry with Solomon.
As expected.
Just a bit. Because his heart was turned from Yahuwah Elohah of Yasharal, which had appeared unto him twice.
And must I appear unto you twice, and you went and did this? Well, you can never tell the human being. We can never be sure. That's why Shaul says, be careful, any man who think you stand, lest you fall. You can be there confident that you're good and you're great in Yahuwah. One mistake, one bad choice, and that's it. Continue.
Verse 10. And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other idols, but he kept not that which Yahuwah commanded. Wherefore Yahuwah said unto Solomon, For as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant.
Wow. Will give it to thy servant. But the Most High was merciful. In verse 12 he said,
Notwithstanding in thy days I will not do it, for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son.
So the son, no, he went into idolatry, and the Most High spared him. The Most High spared him because of his father. You see it? He's in idolatry, but because his father was righteous, the Most High said, I'm not going to let you suffer it, I'm going to let your son suffer it. That's how much the Most High values our righteousness, and how much he puts the unrighteousness of the father upon the children.
And he said it to Moses, didn't he?
Don't you? Go ahead. Which one is? Yeah.
So we just said to those who flee out of the midst of Babylon, the righteousness of those will then protect the children that they have left behind.
I don't know. It implies it in the book of Isaiah that the children will come afterwards. But who knows? Don't want to detract anyway. Yeah. All right, so that was what the Most High did. Yeah. So guess what now? Just as the Most High said, the whole house of Yasharal was split under Shulamah's son, under his son who was called Rehoboam. 1 Kings 12, 1 to 33. Whole lot of reading today. 1 Kings 12, 1 to 33. This is your history, the history of the kingdom of Yasharal on just a word. Verse 1.
And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Yasharal were come to Shechem to make him king.
So he inherited the entire kingdom from his father. So all Yasharal came to make him king. Verse 2.
And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him. And Jeroboam and all the congregation or the assembly of Yasharal came and spake unto Jeroboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed.
All right, so we have Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who is from the tribe of Ephraim, came and led the delegation, telling Rehoboam, make our yoke lighter than your father, because Solomon had lived in much splendor, and he taxed the people in order to live in splendor. So the people are saying, lighten our burdens for us. Verse 6.
And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants for ever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them, What counsel give ye, that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins.
Wow.
Bad boys.
Continue. Young boys, young people advice. Eh? Yeah, man, make it harder. Verse 11.
And now, whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father has chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions.
So, how can you be looking to lead people and tell people that? How do you expect people to actually want to follow you?
Nasty.
But this was of the Most High, no doubt. Verse 12.
So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, Come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from Yahuwah, that he might perform his saying, which Yahuwah spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat.
16.
So when all Yasharal saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, What portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Yasharal. Now see to thine own house, David. So Yasharal departed unto their tents.
Mm-hmm.
But as for the children of Yasharal, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them.
So they departed away and split with Judah. Verse 18.
Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Yasharal stoned him with stones, that he died. Therefore King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So Yasharal rebelled against the house of David unto this day.
Unto this day. 20.
And it came to pass, when all Yasharal heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the assembly, and made him king over all Yasharal. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only.
Here's a very interesting part in the Bible. It says the tribe of Judah only, but then he went on to tell you that it was Judah and Benjamin. Verse 21.
And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin.
There we go. So in the previous verse, it says the house of Judah only. Then it says the tribe of Benjamin as well as the house of Judah. Continued.
180,000 chosen men, which were warriors to fight against the house of Yasharal, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam the son of Solomon. But the word of Yahuwah came unto Shemaiah, the man of God, the man of Yahuwah, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, Thus says Yahuwah, Ye shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren the children of Yasharal. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. They hearkened therefore to the word of Yahuwah, and returned to depart, according to the word of Yahuwah.
So who the word of Yahuwah came to Shimei? Who's that? Shimi? Yeah? The word of Yahuwah came to you.
Shimei from Benjamin.
Shemaiah. Verse 25.
Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim and dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Penuel.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David.
So Jeroboam became king, and he says what? If the people go up to Jerusalem, then they will return to David. So I have a plan. Verse 27.
If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of Yahuwah at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their master, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah, and they shall kill me, and go again to Rehoboam king of Judah. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy idols, O Yasharal, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
So he called it, guess what he called the idols? Called the idols Yahuwah. Says, these are your idols that brought you up out of Egypt. Verse 29.
And he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And he made an house of high places, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi.
All right, so what did he do now? He started his own priesthood.
Yeah.
This is the unholy priesthood, the unrighteous priesthood. It's the same thing that has plagued the world ever since. The world always has an unrighteous priesthood in it that is not of the children of Israel. Leading the unrighteous priesthood in the world today is the religion of Christianity. Always an unrighteous priesthood that is against the will and the order of the Most High. Nothing has changed. Continue.
And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is in Judah, and he offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves that he had made. And he placed in Bethel the priests and the high places which he had made.
The priests of the high places.
Of the high places which he had made.
So, can't reach. Yeah, so he sacrificed unto the calves. And we know today, if anyone saw, turn on it. Yeah. Anyone saw the opening of the Commonwealth Games, we saw a ritual there dedicated to the calves. A big calf they made, mechanical calf, and they were worshipping the calf. This is the similitude of this worship here, worshipping Baal or Baal in the form of a calf. Verse 33.
So he offered upon the altar which he had made in Bethel the 15th day of the 8th month, even in the month which he had devised of his own heart, and ordained a feast unto the children of Yasharal. And he offered upon the altar and burnt incense.
Same thing with Christianity. They have devised their own feast after their own hearts. Same thing. Nothing has changed. Satan's people do not do anything different. So there was war and enmity between Yasharal and Judah. That is where everything went sour. From that, war and enmity between both houses. They became enemies. It was as if they were not the same family. 1 Kings 15 verse 6.
And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life.
And verse 7.
Now the rest of the acts of Abijam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam.
So the two houses, house of Judah, house of Yasharal, war, always. That is why in the end, when the Most High brings them together, it is going to be such a great miracle. No, they warred against each other, and they even united in war against Syria. 2 Chronicles 18:28-29. They warred against each other, and at times they united in war against other people, but they themselves could not unite because the Most High would not allow it to happen. Because he promised that he will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen in the end. It will have to be the time of Hamashiach. Read 28-29, please.
So the king of Yasharal and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Yasharal said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself, and will go to the battle. But put thou on thy robes. So the king of Yasharal disguised himself, and they went to the battle.
All right, so they united against Syria there. So at times they united with other nations against each other. Isaiah 7 verse 1 and 5-8. At times they united with other nations against each other. Here we Isaiah 1 verse 7. What is it?
Isaiah 7 verse 1.
Isaiah 7 verse 1. Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Yasharal, went up toward Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it.
You see them? United against Judah. Verse 5.
Because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have taken evil counsel against thee, saying, Let us go up against Judah and vex it, and let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabiel. Thus says Yahuwah Elohim, It shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass.
So what you found was that the Most High stood with Judah. And he stood with Judah because as long as we are walking in his statutes, his commandments, he will always favor us. Judah was where the temple was. Judah had not gone wholesale into idolatry, but Israel had. So the Most High stood with Judah against Israel as if Israel were not his people. Oh, we said 8. Did we do 8?
No.
Verse 8.
For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. And within 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people.
So the Most High says, don't worry yourself. Within 65 years, I'm going to make sure that they will no longer be a people. I'm going to send them into captivity. So the northern kingdom was finally sent into captivity. 2 Kings 17, 1-24. The northern kingdom, after those 65 years, finally sent into captivity. 2 Kings 17.
Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom.
Where was that? Where is that?
2
Kings 17, 1.
I mean, 2 Samuel, he did that.
2 Kings.
Sorry.
In the 12th?
In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea the son of Elah to reign in Samaria over Yasharal 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahuwah, but not as the kings of Yasharal that were before him.
Mm-hmm.
Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria
came up
throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
The fall of Yasharal. Verse 6.
In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Yasharal away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan and in the cities of the Medes.
Mm-hmm.
For so it was that the children of Yasharal had sinned against Yahuwah their Elohah, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods or other idols.
You notice how often it is reminding us of bringing us out of the land of Egypt. Yeah. Constant. Verse 8.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahuwah cast out from before the children of Yasharal, and of the kings of Yasharal, which they had made.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Yasharal did secretly those things that were not right against Yahuwah their Elohah. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchmen to the fenced city.
So these are the sins of our fathers. Continue.
And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, and did as did the heathen whom Yahuwah carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke Yahuwah to anger.
Mm-hmm.
For they served idols, whereof Yahuwah had said unto them, Ye shall not do this thing.
So, these are what they did, idols. Imagine what the Most High has done to Yasharal. And this is how they turned back and repay him. Going after the worship of idols blatantly, and it says even secretly. Verse 13.
Yet Yahuwah testified against Yasharal and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets.
Notwithstanding,
they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in Yahuwah their Elohah.
So this is why we have to know and acknowledge the sins of our fathers. When we see our fathers' sins, we have to make sure that we know their sins so we do not walk in their sins. So even though the children of Israel got warning, they hardened their necks, they became stubborn. And stubbornness is a sin of what? Iniquity.
Yeah.
Okay? And idolatry. Verse 15.
And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahuwah had charged them, that they should not do like them.
So when you wake up and realize who you are, this here reminds me so much of Christianity, of where we are today. They rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers. The Christians will tell you it doesn't matter who you are, and will gladly tell you that I'm not an Israelite. Yes? Rejecting the covenant that he made with their fathers. And they reject his testimonies. And they followed what? Vanity.
Babylon.
And became vain. And went after the heathen that were round about them. So you can't tell them anything about mixed seed. Yeah? Went after the heathen. And people who are in the way now, who are awakening, and you tell them about our people must not mix with the other nations, mix marriage with the other nations. No, they don't want that. They want to go after the heathen that are round about them. Yeah? 16.
And they left all the commandments of Yahuwah their Elohah, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal.
Mm-hmm.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahuwah, to provoke him to anger.
So every single abomination, it seems, they did in the sight of the Most High. So when the Most High banished them away for so long, because this happened in 720 something BC, that means 720 years plus 2000, which year? 2023? That's 2,700 and odd years ago this happened. That's a long time. And the Most High did this to them, and now we see why He has them out so long. But the Most High promised that He's going to gather them again. What a merciful Father we have. Verse 18.
Therefore Yahuwah was very angry with Yasharal, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
And then?
Also, Judah kept not the commandments of Yahuwah their Elohim, but walked in the statutes of Yasharal which they made. And Yahuwah rejected all the seed of Yasharal and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight.
All right. So, people, are you wondering why our people are so stuck in Christianity? You see why our people are so stuck in Christianity is this idolatrous heart that has been with us from the time of our fathers. And we refuse to accept who our fathers are, what they did, and therefore to resolve not to be like them. So that is why Christianity, based on materialism, based on vanity, based on the worship of the idol JC, that is why our people are so stuck in it and will not leave it alone. Verse 21.
For he rent Yasharal from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel, Yasharal, from following Yahuwah, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Yasharal walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until Yahuwah removed Yasharal out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Yasharal carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
So they were brought to Assyria. And that was the last thing, really, that we actually hear of them in the Bible, I think. I don't think there's anything else from that. So that is why they're called the lost tribe, because many people don't know who they are. But I think by the end of this, we should see some of the places in which they are. Now, the problem with this Assyria thing, I don't believe in those place names that they gave us. So where is actually Assyria? Because I believe Assyria is on this continent here. I don't believe in that Assyria up there and that Babylon up there and all of those places. I don't know. I don't believe in those places. Anyway. So we get an understanding of that. But it says Judah continued in their sins. Judah was also sent into captivity in Babylon. I think it was Babylon who really was really the first big captivity. Then the Medo-Persians overpowered the Babylonians, and our people were in captivity to the Medo-Persians. Then the Greeks came and replaced them under Antiochus Epiphanes, the fourth, I think. Then the Romans came and replaced them, and we have been in some form of Roman captivity ever since. Because our captivity that we had in the Roman slave trade were the descendants of the children of the Romans, the Western Europeans. So we have been under the hand of the Romans ever since. So Judah sent into captivity in Babylon. Jeremiah 20 verse 4.
For thus says Yahuwah, Behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself and to all thy friends, and they shall fall by the sword of their enemies, and thine eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive into Babylon, and shall slay them with the sword.
Moreover,
I will deliver all the strength of this city, and all the labours thereof, and all the precious things thereof, and all the treasures of the kings of Judah will I give into the hand of their enemies, which shall spoil them, and take them, and carry them to Babylon.
All right. So this Babylonian captivity is very significant because it is the same captivity that we remain in up to this very day. That is why the book of Revelation 18:4, come out of her, my people, is speaking about Babylon. Because they were in physical captivity in Babylon, we are now in captivity to spiritual Babylon. We were first brought into captivity in spiritual Egypt, into slavery with ships, scattered in slavery with ships in Egyptian captivity. Then we were liberated, and when we were liberated, we were brought into the Babylonian merchandising system, and so we were brought into captivity in Babylon. And it is prophesied once again that we are going to be delivered out of Babylon. Why? And which is why the Most High gave us instructions to flee out of the midst of Babylon so that we can be delivered. So the Most High promises to gather them all once again through the house of Judah. We're talking about the northern kingdom. They are going to be gathered through the leadership of the house of Judah. Just as how the Most High declared that the Judah is its leader, it will be the northern kingdom that will once again lead an awakening that will raise up the northern tribes of Yasharal in Yahusha and bring them back to the fold. So in Isaiah 11 verse 1, let's look at the prophecy, verse 1 to 2. Verse 11, verse 1 and 12. Yeah.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
All right, that's Yahusha Mashiach. Verse 12.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Yasharal, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So that is the gathering together. Now, many of us know and understand this, but many people, especially those just coming to the truth, they don't understand this. They don't understand the difference between the two kingdoms, the northern and southern kingdom, the difference between them in the gathering, how they will be gathered, and all of that. All right? Now, the Most High prophesied through Isaiah, very important prophecy, how he will gather them. And he said, and this is the topic of the thing, he says, thy dead men shall live. Thy dead men shall live. Isaiah 26, I think is verse 19. So let's start at Isaiah 26, verse 15 to 21. Thy dead men shall live. Isaiah 26. Let's hope we can finish this before. Isaiah 26. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Thou hast increased the nation. O Yahuwah, thou hast increased the nation. Thou art magnified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yahuwah, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them.
So we have been scattered. And guess what? When we find ourselves in trouble, we turn to the Most High.
Yeah.
And guess what? Verse 17.
Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain and crieth out in her pangs, so have we been in thy sight, O Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. So thy dead men shall live together with my dead body.
No, not live together. Thy dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they arise. This is the Most High now prophesying through Yahusha HaMashiach. Now, where does this take us from? This brings us to 1 Thessalonians 4. This is 1 Thessalonians 4. I think it's about verse 14. Read, please.
For if we believe that Yahusha died and rose again, Even so them also which sleep in Yahusha will Elua bring with him.
This is what they call the rapture. Go ahead.
For this we say unto you by the word of the Master, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Master shall not prevent them which are asleep. For Yahusha himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Elua, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first.
Thy dead men shall live. Continue.
Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet Yahusha in the air, and so shall we ever be with Yahusha.
Wherefore, comfort one another
with these words.
Let's go back. Thy dead men shall live. Isaiah 26.
Verse 19. Thy dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust. For thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead.
Continue.
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast.
So it's a time of trouble in the end when all of this will be happening. Verse 21.
For behold, Yahuwah cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
So let me tell you something now. This is the deception upon this earth with this religion called Christianity. They take the rapture to say it will be Christians that will be raptured away. This is speaking about children, people from the house, from both houses of Israel. And we're going to show you in Ezekiel chapter 37. So, this dead people living, these are the Israelites who are going to awaken. I don't know if the Most High's mercy is going to be there for the other nations, but it is our people who are going to arise. Thy dead men shall arise. It's speaking to the children of Israel. He will punish the inhabitants of the world for their iniquity, and his people shall arise. And for that, for proof of that, let's go to the book of Yechezkel 37 verse 1. The dry bones awaken, the dead men live. And we're going to see the Most High tell us who these dry bones are, who these dead men are. Verse 1.
Ezekiel 37 verse 1. The hand of Yahuwah was upon me, and carried me out in the ruach of Yahuwah, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Bones, that refer to those who are dead.
Definitely.
Continue.
And caused me to pass by them round about. And, behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Yahuwah Elua, thou knowest.
Not a smart answer. The Most High ask you a question. You can't act as if you know. No, man. I said, no, you know.
No, you're in charge.
Yes. Go ahead.
Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus says Yahuwah Elua unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you,
and ye shall live. Now, Yahushua HaMashiach showed us the similitude. He showed us a couple similitude while he was here. He showed us Lazarus being brought back to life, yeah? He also showed us the similitude of blowing the breath and the dry bones living again. Let's go to the book of... No, let's go to verse 6, and then we'll go to Yahusha. Verse 6.
And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you. and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
Now let's see Yahusha's similitude of these blowing the breath and the dry bones coming to life. Verse 21 of John 20.
Then said Yahusha to them again, Peace be unto you, as my Father had sent me, even so I send you.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, Receive ye the Ruach HaKadosh.
All right. Go to verse 5 of Ezekiel 37 and match it up. Thus saith Yahuwah Alua unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. So the Ruach HaKadosh is that breath that is breathed in us so that we live again.
The breath of life.
Pardon?
The breath of life.
The breath of life. So the dry bones awaken. Let's continue. Because we said this so-called rapture that they're speaking about is what Saul spoke about in 1 Thessalonians 4, about the dead in Messiah rising again. And we saw in Isaiah 26 that dry bones shall live. And now in the book of Ezekiel is going to tell us who these dry bones are. Ezekiel 37 verse 7 to 28. That religion of Christianity has stolen the heritage and the promises of the children of Yasharal, taken, twisted it around, made it their own, and made it into a lie, and made it into a promise for the Gentiles, but it is a promise for the children of Yasharal. Before we go, let's go to Romans chapter 9 to declare who the promises are for. Romans chapter 9, verse 3.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites,
to whom pertaineth
the adoption and the splendor and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Alua and the promises.
And the promises. Hey, this is New Testament and Shaul is writing this. Hey, no such thing. Misunderstanding. The adoption, the splendor, the covenants, the giving of the law, and the service of Alua and the promises belong to the children of Israel. Yeah. So the dead men shall live belongs to the children of Israel. Verse 5 of Romans 9.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Alua blessed forever.
As so concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came. He came for the children of Israel. When he comes back, he will be coming back for the children of Israel. So let's go back to Ezekiel 20. Thy dry bones shall live. Let's go back to Ezekiel 20 now. No, Ezekiel 37.
37. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Go ahead, please.
So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
There was no Ruach HaKadosh in them. Go ahead.
Then said he unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, Thus says Yahuwah Alua, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
Mm-hmm.
So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
Wow. My. This is a great Christian army. Yeah? This is a great army of Christians, isn't it? Let's see. Verse 11.
Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the house of Yasharal.
Wait. Hey, you said it wrong. Say it again, please.
Then Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasharal.
These are the 12 tribes coming back together. It's not Christians. These are not Christians. These are the dead men that shall live.
Yeah.
This is not a rapture of Christians. It's Hamashiach coming back to gather his people. Continue.
Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost.
And our what?
Our hope is lost.
What is that 4-letter word there? HOPE. You realize? This is our word.
Yeah.
This word is the theme of us, the Most High moving us.
It's a sign.
Hope. Yeah. From the first time he told us to come to this country, this is the word hope. Up to this very day, in our movements, everything, he has shown us the word hope. It says, our hope is lost. We are cut off our paths. The Most High is showing you your hope is not lost. Verse 12.
Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Eluah, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Yasharal.
It's not being raptured into heaven. Yeah? Is this being raptured into heaven?
No, this is going into the land.
And this is physical and spiritual. Because when it says, I will open your graves, it is speaking to those of us who were in sin, dead in sin. And he gave us his Ruach to bring us out of sin. So we are alive physically. Yes? But also those who are dead are also going to be raised up out of their graves. That is why Shaul says, we who are alive will not prevent those who are dead. So those who are dead are going to arise first. They are going to be in prime position. They are going to arise first and then we follow after. That's what he says. Huh? That's what it's all about. They took it and stole it and gave us a religion, packaged it in a religion to deceive us, to get us to transgress against the Most High and to forget who the children of Israel are. Matthew 10, 5 and 6. Let's go there, George.
These 12 Yahusha sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not,
but go rather to the lost sheep
of the house of Yasharal.
That's it. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Yasharal. Yeah. So let's go back. Where are we?
Verse 13.
13.
Ezekiel 37, verse 13. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves.
So, O my people? So who are Yahuwah's people?
Yasharal, the children of Yasharal.
First Samuel, let me go. 1 Samuel 9 verse 16. You want to see who is my people? 1 Samuel 9:16.
Tomorrow, about this time, I will send thee a man out of the land of Benjamin, and thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Yasharal.
Oh, okay. Over my people Yasharal. So Yasharal is his people. So when he says, "Oh my people," and brought you out of your graves, this is not a Christian thing. Verse 14.
You go back to Ezekiel now.
Yeah, Ezekiel 13:14.
And shall put my Ruach in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land.
Then
shall ye know that I, Yahuwah, have spoken it, and performed it, says Yahuwah.
All right. And shall put my ruach in you. So for those of us now from over that side of the earth, he put his ruach in us and instructed us and led us and said, go. Go to that land. That is the land where you are to be gathered together. All right? Through his ruach. Not through any angel coming and telling us, okay, it's time to go. It is through his ruach that he did it. This is where it's telling you, and shall put my ruach in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Continue verse 15.
The word of Yahuwah came again unto me, saying.
All right, hold on. So now he's telling you about the gathering of the two tribes, the two houses together. The two houses, as we just spoke about, who were warring, split up, warring. He's going to tell you about this end time. The rapture thing is actually to unite them once again. The dead men shall live. Verse 16.
Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Yasharal, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Yasharal, his companions.
And join them?
And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Hey. So that is the joining of the two houses. Yeah? That is the joining of both houses. Let's go to Ezekiel 34, verse 20. You have something to say? Go ahead.
Have you got time?
Huh?
Have we got time to finish this? It's 5:15.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. You're gonna stop. We have thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Here it's saying that Yasharal will be joined. Both houses will be joined.
Yeah.
But that's contradicting and saying that the rapture will happen, because this has to be done. So then why are they saying that the rapture will take you to heaven?
That's it.
But scripture clearly states that the house of Yasharal will be joined. So then there will be a rapture and then joining? That don't make sense.
Yeah, man.
But yet they tell you that the rapture would happen. But here it says, here before all of this, no rapture speaking about here, you know. The sticks will be joined, the two houses will be joined. They haven't joined yet. But yet people are being raptured.
That is the deception of that religion, Ak. Dangerous deception. Let's go to... No, where were we? What did I say again? Let's go to Ezekiel 34.
This is evidence again to show that they will be brought into a land and be joined, not raptured.
All right. Verse 22 of Ezekiel 34.
Therefore will I save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle.
And I will set up
one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd.
So the son of David shall feed them. Now let's go back now to Ezekiel 37. Verse 18.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
19.
Say unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim,
northern kingdom,
and the tribes of Yasharal his fellows,
northern kingdom,
and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah,
southern kingdom,
and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
Verse 20.
And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes.
All right. And when he does that now, what is going to happen? Verse 21.
And say unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, I will take the children of Yasharal from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land.
And verse 22 says,
And I will make them one nation, and the land upon the mountains of Yasharal, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
This is what it's about. The final cementing of the kingdom again, and the kingdom will never ever be divided again. Christianity did this. It's Christianity that did this. Continue.
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Elohim. And David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them.
And now they are going to be dwelling in heaven, right? Verse 25.
And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they, and their children, and their children's children, forever.
Continue.
And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore.
Continue.
My tabernacle also shall be with them.
Yea,
I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people.
What about the rest of the world?
And the heathen
shall know
that I, Yahuwah, do sanctify Yasharal, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore.
You have heathens in heaven? Do you have heathens in heaven? Do you have heathens in heaven? Because the only way it says, heathen shall know when my sanctuary is in the midst of them forevermore. So if they are going to heaven, there have to be heathens in heaven. And we know no unrighteous person can go into heaven. Yeah. Has to be on earth. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll stop there. Give us enough time in case there are any questions.
This kind of explains the nonsense of religion, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In a big way.
Yeah. So this is a history of our people, the sins of our fathers, and the Most High's promise to gather us back together, to put us back together as one whole 12 tribe, the whole 12 tribes, together once and for all. Thy dead men shall live. Thy dead men shall live. Let me read it again. Together with my, let me see, Isaiah 26 verse 19. Let me end it with this. Thy dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. The dry bones of the whole house of Yasharal, awakening unto salvation. All right? Are there any questions on YouTube? One person is asking, what if we don't have the funds to get to the gathering place? What should we do? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I didn't have the funds to get to the gathering place. Yeah.
You have to make the decision.
Yeah. If you have the desire, the Most High will let you go. I didn't have the funds and the Most High provided. All right. And other people here as well never had the funds, and he provided. All right. I'm going in order. Armstrong. Do me lang. Shabbat Shalom, Armstrong. Let me see. I don't know. There are so many of our people, including myself, want to leave Babylon but have no money to do so. Second person speaking about funds to leave Babylon. Get out of here. Let me get this thing here. All right. So Anthony Osborne still don't understand. If Ahiah knows all things, why would he repent? All right. To get a better understanding, let's go to the word repent. In the passage, it repented me that I made Saul king. It repented me. That's 1 Samuel 15:11. Let's look at the meaning of repenteth. It repenteth me. Now come, a primitive root properly to sigh, that is breathed strongly by implication, to be sorry. That is in a favorable sense, so pretty that, no, it's not the favorable sense. To rue, to avenge oneself, to ease oneself. So it's more rightly to be sorry. Why would the Most High actually be sorry? Man, that is a deep thing. Because we were speaking here, and we said that the Most High chooses not to know. He chooses not to know. There is something about the Most High that he actually will shut away things. That's why Isaiah said, surely thou art an Alua that hidest thyself, O Alua, my Savior. I think it's in Isaiah 45. I think. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Do you think when it says repent means to sigh, he could have been just disappointed in what could have been?
But it still says the same thing.
Yeah.
Because why would he be disappointed if he knows all things? So in Isaiah 45:15, Isaiah says, Isaiah 45:15,
verily thou art a lure that hidest thyself, O Alua of Yasharal, the Savior.
So with all that is happening, the Most High has a way of hiding himself away, taking himself away, actually making himself not know, as we shall see in the book of Genesis chapter 18. In Genesis chapter 18, let's go. Let's start at verse 20. Verse 19. In verse 19, he tells you that he knows Abraham, what Abraham will do. But in verse 20, he tells you that he doesn't know what was actually happening in Sodom, and he had to send an angel to confirm. So let's go from verse 19 when he says he knows.
For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of Yahuwah to do justice and judgment, that Yahuwah may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
So he knows that. But we're going to see this, that he appears to be saying that he does not know what is happening in the Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 20.
And Yahuwah said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which has come unto me. And if not, I will know.
So he's telling you that he's going to send the angels, and he says, I'm going to go down now to see whether what they have told me about it is so. If it is not so, I will know. That means he's telling you that he does not know. But he is all-knowing and all-powerful. So the only thing that I can say is that he chooses not to know. Why? Because he knows that Sodom and Gomorrah is evil. If he keeps this present with him, their wickedness with him, he would not have given them any chance, any grace or favor to repent. His wrath would come up. So he puts it in the sea of forgetfulness for the time being, until it is come up to him and said, okay, the time is up. Let me go and see what they are doing. Yes? That is why the word says, at the time of our ignorance, he winks at. What does it mean to wink? It means he ignores it. Yeah. And that is how we also are built. It is said that we are made in his own image. And a lot of the time, you have relationships, for example, you have some women or men, they hear that their partner is cheating and they will tell you, I don't want to know. They know that they see signs of trouble in the relationship. And people are coming and tell them, and they tell them, no, don't tell me, I don't want to know. Likewise, us ourselves, we have the ability to perceive. The Most High made us, we were speaking the other day, the Most High made us with a brain that actually the brain takes in everything that we see. But the Most High makes us a way that we only retain that which we perceive. So while we look on a scene, our brain is taking in whatever is there. But he makes us in such a way that we only take in and retain that which we want. We only take in that which we want to see. Otherwise, we would have overload. Too much things coming into our brains.
Which is only a fraction of what we
use the brain are capable of. And yeah, and so that is how we are made to decide what we want to do. Now, evil people know this about our brains, and what they do in the televisions and in the video games, etc. In the music, they put in hidden things, deceptive things, shapes, colors, signs, etc. Words, while we are watching those things, and they go inside our minds and we don't know because we do not perceive them, but they register in our minds and they know how to operate and manipulate us by that which goes into our minds. So what am I saying? I think we are made similar to how the Most High is. We will perceive what we want to perceive, and we see it, but the Most High will see it and know it, but he puts it in the back,
subconscious,
on the back burner until it's time to bring it out because of his grace. Because if he takes care of everything that is happening, then he's going to get angry and his wrath is going to come too soon. So he waits until it's time to execute his wrath. Then he allows himself to actually get the full picture. So these 3 verses here are very significant in answering that question, in putting another spin on it. All right. So that is what we see. That is what we see, and that is what I see about that. All right. So where were we again? Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there are any questions. Christianity and the rapture is replacement theology at its finest. Yes. So we have a brilliant set of people. Everyone knows today. No questions. No questions. All right. Yafa said I'm jumping for joy. I never saw you jumping, Yafa. I never saw you jumping. I wish to leave St. Vincent also, but no funds as yet, working on it. Is the awakening before the fleeing? Yes, you awaken and then you flee. You have to know and understand what is happening before you can flee, because you cannot flee and you're still in blindness. Your eyes are going to be opened. Yeah? Blindness in part has happened to Yasharal until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. So their fullness, the fullness of their time is coming in, and at the same time our eyes are awakening. So, yeah. Must the awakening be complete worldwide or in the places of Yasharal is located? Who is going to these places to wake them up? I guess before they can flee. All right, so the awakening is taking place worldwide. And it is wonderful in our eyes because guess what? I am here in South Africa and you are probably in the United States or something like that. And you are getting the same message. So no one has to physically go to them. The people here, almost all of the people here that I have met, these are people who I never knew before, physically, never met before, physically. All right? We just met online, just like this. And that is how we are where we are. So the internet has made it so great because it has made us now able to actually be brought together in one place without anyone having to physically go to anyone at all. Okay? If we all flee, how will the scattered be found? If we all flee, how will the scattered be found? Now, we will not all flee. Let's go to Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12. We will not all flee, but those who flee are those who will be given an opportunity. And I'll probably go to that. Probably go to that first. Let's see the lot of those who flee. Luke 21, 34 to 36. And then we'll go to, what's the other one? Luke 21, 34 to 36. And then, let's go to the book of Revelation. Where is it? At Luke 21, 34 to 36. Let me get it. Luke 21, 34 to 36.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
All right. So those who flee, there will be a snare that shall come upon all them that come upon the face of the earth. So that is why the Messiah tells you before that to flee out of the midst of Babylon. Okay? And it says, watch ye and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass. So those who flee out of the midst of Babylon are striving to be those who are worthy to escape all these things. And if you notice all these things that he warned us about, it is surfeiting, which is excess, which is what we do in Babylon. We go after excess. and drunkenness. Babylon has been a golden cup to make the earth mad. The world has become drunken. Therefore, the earth is mad. This is Babylon, drunkenness, and cares of this life. And Babylon fills us with the cares of this life. These three things are what we strive to avoid when we flee out of the midst of Babylon. Now, also, those who flee out of the midst of Babylon will be this assembly here. Is it Philadelphia? All right. Verse 7.
Where are you?
Revelation 3 verse 7.
And to the angel of the assembly in Philadelphia write, These things says he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth.
You see this shutting and opening? Look at it spiritually, people. It's shutting and opening. When it's time to flee, if you truly want to flee, and you are in Yahusha, no man can lock you out.
Yeah.
Read verse 8.
I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open
door. And no man can do what?
No man can shut it.
Nobody can lock you out or keep you out if you truly want to do it. If you have the desire, nothing can stop you. Continue.
For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name.
So you see, this is a characteristic of the people who will make it. You have to be seeking or walking in righteousness. The Messiah will open the door for you. You have a little strength, you have kept his word, and you have not denied his name. Verse 9.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Why is that? Because we are the children of Yasharal who are fleeing. And they are saying that they are Jews and they are not. So the Messiah is saying that, all right? The Messiah is saying, in the end, I'm going to prove to them that you are my people and they are not. So those so-called Jews in that land, I'm going to make them come and bow down at your feet and worship before your feet. And let them know that I have loved thee. Why does he have to know that he has loved us? Because we were left as the rejects of the earth. And it appeared as if the Most High didn't love us. And they were baraked, they were blessed, and were given all sorts of power and everything. And the Most High is going to show us that we were the ones that he loved. He says, I'm going to make them come and bow down at your feet. Verse 10.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So there's going to come a temptation. They call it the Great Tribulation. The Most High is saying that these people who have kept the word of his patience, have a little strength, who have gone through the open door, these people, he will keep them from the temptation that is coming upon the earth. So let's go now to Revelation 12, where it is a little bit more plain. Revelation 12. Verse 13.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And the woman...
And to the woman
were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
So we have now the woman, Yasharal, being nourished and taken 3.5 years away from the face of the serpent. Again, matching up with Revelation 3 that we just watched, we just saw, which is the protection from the Most High. Verse 15.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Now here's protection.
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
So it's not everyone that is going to flee. These are those who have fled and have been counted worthy. Because remember, in fleeing in Ezekiel 20, it says, I'm going to purge out from among you the rebels. So those who are perfected, these are those who will be protected. And it says in verse 17 now, it shows you that not all will flee, but those who remain in Babylon will be under the wrath of Satan. Verse 17.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Wrath with the woman because the woman escaped and was protected by the Most High. And what did he do?
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahuwah and have the testimony of Yahusha HaMashiach.
So there are some righteous people who are just not going to flee. These are those who the Satan is going to launch a war on. And so it's going to be very bitter. And that's why it says in Revelation 13 that and in the book of Daniel, it says that the saints have been given into his hand. All right? The saints will be given into the hand of the wicked. Let's see if I can find it in Daniel quickly. So that we don't have a doubt. Daniel 7. Verse 25.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dwelling of time.
They shall be given into his hand. 3.5 years. The same 3.5 years in Revelation 17 when it says a woman will be protected for, is the same 3.5 years that the saints will be given into their hands. And Revelation 13:7 tells you again. This is speaking about the first beast of Revelation, verse 7.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
All right, so that's it. The saints given over into his hands. So some will be protected, and some will have to go through hell under Satan's foolishness. All right. If you are, is the man of lawlessness in 2 Thessalonians, JC. The man of lawlessness actually speaks of several different things. JC is one of the anti-messiahs. John tells us in 1 John that there are many anti-messiahs, many antichrists. So this man of lawlessness that shall come, there is going to be an anti-messiah. If you go to the book of the Ascension of Isaiah, which you can download from our website, justaword.org, on the downloads page, you see in chapter 4, it tells you about this anti-messiah that will come upon this earth. This anti-messiah in 1 Thessalonians is actually the end time anti-messiah, but it also refers to the same principle of JC, because if you look into that, 1 Thessalonians 2 up to verse 12, it actually tells you, explaining about Christianity itself. But there's going to come an anti-messiah, a man who will be possessed by Satan, will rule the world in the end. This is by extension also speaking about him. So what is the difference from Solomon increasing wives to himself versus David? In other words, why was this okay for David when he was king? Increasing wives doesn't mean that if you have 2 wives, it's a problem. 700 wives and 300 concubines compared to 2. Yeah, strange wives as well. And yeah, that's a very good important point. It's also strange wives as well. Yeah. All right. All right. Huh? Which one? Where is that? But that's about who? Oh, the Bible says Yah will gather us. But how will he gather us? That is the question. How will he gather us? For that, let's go to John 11, verse 49 to 52. How will he gather us? We just saw a while ago in the dry bones. It says, I will put my ruach within you. Now, before we go to John, let's go to Ezekiel. Now, let's go to Ezekiel 37. Let's go to where we're just coming from for reference first. Ezekiel 37. And where is it with that ruach? No. Yeah, that's another one. You hold that for me. Remind me about that one. I'm trying to find the part where it says, verse 14. Read verse 14, please.
And shall put my ruach in you, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, Yahuwah, have spoken it and performed it, says Yahuwah.
All right. You know that I have performed it when I shall put my ruach within you. Now, when he puts his ruach within us, that is John 17, there about 17, that is the Most High in us and Yahusha HaMashiach in us. John 17, verse 20.
Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee,
that they also may be one in us.
That the world may believe that thou hast sent me.
So if we are one in the Father and in the Son, what does that mean? It means that no one will have to come and tell us anything. The Ruach will speak to us. Yeah? John 16, verse 13. When he puts his spirit in us, John 16, 13.
Howbeit, when he, the Ruach of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come.
And he will
show you.
So when you have the Ruach, right, he will guide you into all truth. He will guide you because he will not speak of himself, because it is Hamashiach in us and the Most High in us. But whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come. All right? So let's go and see John 11, verse 49. This rock, let's see how we are gathered in Hamashiach. John 11, verse 49.
And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not.
This is the house of Judah is speaking about, verse 51.
And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahusha should die for that nation.
For that nation, the house of Judah. Hamashiach died for Judah, and then?
And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of Alua that were scattered abroad.
So look at it now. If Hamashiach should die to gather that nation and gather together the children of Alua who are scattered abroad? How will he be dead and gather them? Through his Ruach. And where is his Ruach? His Ruach is dwelling in us.
Temples.
1 Corinthians 6 verse 19. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 19.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKadosh,
Which is in you.
Which ye have of Alua, and ye are not your own.
So this is how we are gathered. We are gathered through his Ruach, which will direct us and guide us into all truth and show us things to come, and he will lead us into the way that we should go. That is what it means when Shaul says you are led of the Ruach. Because John 3:3 says, let's go. Boy, we could go for the whole day linking up scriptures to explain this. Go ahead.
Yahusha answered and said unto him, Truly, truly, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Alua.
All right, verse 8.
The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Ruach.
So when you are born of the Ruach will take you and lead you to where he wants you to go. All right. So that is why we're touching down now. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. The instructions from way of old is for us to gather ourselves together. It is not for us to sit and wait. Gather yourselves together, which speaks of an action on our part. We decide to do it. Read it, please.
Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather together. And let's see when we're going to gather together. Let's look at what it means to gather together. Gather yourselves together. Okay, it's not. All right. It is kashash, which means figuratively to assemble, to gather selves together. Gather selves together. It is not speaking of us waiting on someone to gather us. Continue in Zephaniah 2. And Zephaniah 2 now is going to tell us when we must be gathered together.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahuwah come upon you, before the day of Yahuwah's anger come upon you.
All right. So what we have to understand, the person who asked this question, is that we are not in Egyptian captivity. We were in Egyptian captivity when we were brought into Egypt again with ships. We were brought into physical captivity as slaves. That is Egyptian captivity. Then we were liberated and brought into Babylonian captivity because we were brought to partake of Babylon's merchandising. You can read Revelation 18, which explains to you how Babylon is about merchandising, and false worship in Revelation 17, which is Christianity ruling the world, Babylon. So we are in Babylonian captivity, and in Babylonian captivity, we are called in Babylonian captivity to come out of her. Egyptian captivity, the Most High will come for us. Babylonian captivity, we have to opt to come out. And the reason being that Babylon is a comfortable place. Everything you want, you can get it there. Everything nice in this world, all sorts of niceties. We have to opt to get out before the Most High will actually, literally take us out. Okay? So we have to come out of her, which is why it says in Micah 4 verse 10,
be in pain and labour to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahuwah shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
So you see a trail of events here. It says, now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. That deliverance comes after we have made moves. See? All of these moves. Then we will be delivered. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. That is how we will be delivered. Okay? And this is why it says in it's gone.
It will do in 1 minute.
And this is why it says in the book of Isaiah.
And go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks.
Remove out of the midst of Babylon. It is not, this remove is not us waiting on anyone. It is us leaving. Jeremiah 51, verse 6.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahuwah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
He will render unto her a recompense. That flee there is another decision on our part. To flee. Alright? To make a move ourselves. Alright? Yeah, that's where, oh, it didn't go on the thing, sorry. It's still good. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Could you post your morning class? I don't know what. Oh, the morning class that is posted on justaword.tv. But boy, I need help. I cannot do it fast enough. So it is a bit slow, but you can go on justaword.tv and let me put the we post our morning thing on justaword.tv because sometimes you see with YouTube you cannot post everything. When our morning class, we want to be free to speak anything without having to dress it up for YouTube. So we post them on justaword.tv where we can say anything. All right. Who do the doves with wings and ships of Tarshish apply to? Well, we're not doing that right now. It's going to be too extensive. Too much.
You got teaching.
Yeah, probably a teaching by itself. Could you post your money? Oh, yeah. That was covering on us all for the coming week, according to his will. Maybe it's stay correct, yeah. Who do the doves with wings and ships of Tarshish apply? Another time we can deal with that. Who has just. So how about the crippled, the lame, the destitute? How about the very poor in Babylon? How? Most High knows his thing and has his way. I cannot tell you what the Most High will do. All I can tell you that he is merciful and he knows who are his, and whomever has the desire, he will find a way. Huh? Zechariah 2:7. Zechariah 2:7. Deliver thyself. Oh, yes. Read read Zechariah 2:7.
Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
All right. Deliver thyself. Deliver yourself. Deliver yourself. Deliver yourself.
Babylon the Great is falling.
When those who dwell with the daughter of Babylon, deliver yourself. It's not the Most High coming to take you up or anything. Deliver yourself. Yourself. And then the Most High will do the rest. Yeah?
And what does flee mean? Flee doesn't mean book a holiday. Flee means to escape and hide.
Yeah. And fleeing again is not relocation. Fleeing is fleeing, running, escaping. Yes? Escaping. That's fleeing. Okay? So, how many likes are there? I see only 13 likes. Is that really? We have 51 people. How many people we have? 51 people concurrently and only 13 likes. I don't think that is. Yeah. I don't want to go more into that. Because it's quite clear. Deliver yourself. Yeah? Oh, let me put it. Oh, I never put it on the screen about deliver yourself. Deliver thyself. Zechariah 2:7. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. That should actually seal it. Man.
We've done that, haven't we?
Jeremiah 51:6. I had called it out, but I never said it. Jeremiah 51:6.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahuwah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Two things he says here. And deliver every man his soul. The Most High is not coming to deliver your soul. You have to first deliver your own soul. But it's so plain. And there are so many people who are teaching against this. And why are they teaching against this? Because it is a heavy burden to bear. It is a heavy burden to tell people to lift up with their families or leave their families to go somewhere that they don't know. It takes a whole lot of faith. And many people, most of us, don't have the faith. So most of us are actually preaching against this because we want to remain in our comfort zones. All right? All right? So what we do, we look and say, oh yeah, it's just so. How about the crippled, the lame, the destitute? How about the very poor in Babylon? How? So we throw up all of those things to negate. Oh, it couldn't be possible. Yahuwah, no. Yahuwah told me to flee. He told me to flee out of the midst of Babylon. Yes? And so I flee and tell and preach what the Most High has laid on our hearts here. Okay? The lame, the cripple, Most High will deal with that. Okay? He told me to flee and so I obey. I am not going to sit here and say, you told me to flee. But what about the lame and the cripple? I'm not going to flee because it couldn't mean because what about them? No. He says flee. And so we flee. All right, it's a heavy burden to bear because Babylon is sweet. Babylon is nice. Babylon is full of everything that we need. And so it's a very challenging task to tell us. All right. Anyway, this is Kazakh Eliyahu along with the rest of the family here. And thank you to George for reading for us. All right. Yeah. So, until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah? Yeah, sure. Give me an next one. Isaiah 48.
don't say last
What did it say? What did he say? Isaiah 48:20.
one. Go ye therefore to Babylon. Flee ye from
Ah.
the voice of the slain. Declare ye, tell this. Utter it even to the ends of the earth. Say ye, Yahuwah hath redeemed his servant.
Babylon the Great is fallen, fallen, people.
All right. Shalom to those who are still online. Chaya, Yahudit, Ashley, Anushka, Undamiso. All right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
How long are we off for? Till 8 o'clock.
Hmm?
Put a light in the kitchen.
Yeah?
Put a light